We now speak to SERI. So following the Joburg fire that happened in the early hours of this morning after a five-storey building caught fire with over 60 fatalities and more than 40 people injured, we now speak to Edward Molopi, who is from the Socio-Economic Rights Institute of South Africa, non-profit human rights organization, and he now joins us via Teams. Good morning. Thank you so much for making time for us. I don't know if you heard the councillor that Nozintombi Mia spoke to a bit earlier on, but they're blaming organizations like SERI for these hijacked buildings and also now this tragedy that has unfolded in this building where 64 people have died.
Good morning, and thank you for having us. I think firstly, let me express my sincere condolences to the families of those who deceased in this calamity. I think let's have a bit of a history around this particular building, and then we can start discussing who is to blame and all of those things. So this is actually the building that's currently burning. Is actually a homeless shelter that is operated and run by the city of Johannesburg, a homeless shelter for women and children, which they have subsequently abandoned. So, I mean, there's been a lot of talk around, hijackings and all of that, but this is actually a building that should be in the care of the municipality. They should be running and looking to the upkeep of the building, but they have since actually abandoned that particular building. So if we're looking at the current situation and what is currently happening there, we really can't be putting blame anywhere else but squarely on what the municipality should be doing in accordance to what their duties and responsibilities are.
Okay, so the argument from the councillor earlier on is that when they try to evict the people, it is organizations like SERI that block them from doing that.
I mean, I think what, if you look at our conduct in the past and how we've always interacted in these issues, is always to say that in an issue where they want to evict people, that should be aligned with the constitutional values, and also what that means basically is that people should be provided with alternative accommodation. What in many instances what people seek to do is to effect illegal evictions that only result in people being left homeless. So basically what I think previous actions, what they would have wanted to do is just to evict people and leave them out on the street without a provision of any alternative. We've never at any point fought against or discouraged any people who have come up and said there's alternative accommodation, people are going to be moved to a more secured venue, and so, but I think what has been the challenge is that there has never been an alternative that has been afforded to people, and so that is what in most cases we have come up and said you need to follow due process when wanting to effect evictions in any property, so that people are not left out on the streets, and that's basically what we have opposed, and not necessarily trying to force people to live in situations that are not suitable for human habitation. I think we are equally concerned when we've raised these issues around the state of the buildings in the inner city and what the state needs to do both at local level and at various points of the governments.